What's up, gamers? It's your boy Beast here with Season 2 of Born With a Controller. That's right, this is our Season 2. It's been a while. I know y'all missed me, y'all missed my voice, y'all missed my lovely interviews, but we are back now, and today we have Miss iChanbot. How are you today?
I'm great. Nice to meet you on Sundays.
Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. To give you a little background of it, I started this whole thing to get an origin story of all the gamers because I love hearing everybody's story of how they got into gaming. And as I know about you, you do Duel Links of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Yep.
That's my main game I'm playing right now.
And yes, she is a fierce duel player, so you better watch out if you're gonna, bring the heart of cards to this young lady, alright?
The Heart of Bricks is following me around.
Jesus. Well, how many people have you sent to the Shadow Zone?
Oh, I have no idea, but I think the games you have won are actually tracked within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, how to say, app. I think it's about 300 plus.
Yeah, tell the truth. You do cackle when you take somebody's soul, don't you?
I actually don't take somebody's soul, like Hybrid don't take the soul of people, because those are only done by the bad guys, like Marik or Bakura. So those guys who have the bad millennial items.
Okay, so you're on the good side of the Duel Links.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, we all need heroes and we all need villains, but thankfully you're the hero and I don't have nothing to worry about.
That's good.
Alright, so we're going to kick off with, I always like to hear your first memory of gaming. So what was the first game that you can remember that you first played?
I think the first game I've ever played was in Germany and it was on a Game Boy. And I think everybody knows it, it's Tetris. But the thing was, like, when I got a Game Boy for my B-Day and the first game was within on the package, which was Tetris, my mom took it and then she would be playing more with the game than I did. So my Game Boy was like gone.
Gee, so you could say, wow, your mom bombarded your system.
Yeah,
wow.
She just took my system and it was gone. Gone. It's gone.
So I want to usually ask this, so technically since your mom took your system, so that just kind of made you the player 2 of the house?
Yeah, basically it was. But the Game Boy was actually meant for me, not for her.
Well, yeah, that's how it usually works out sometimes. You think it's for you, but then they get intrigued. Like, you know what? Let me hold on to this for a little bit. It's too advanced for you, maybe. Jeez. So your mom was a competitive, like she got really into gaming like that, huh?
She actually pretty much is into gaming, but more like card games and mahjong, so the classical Chinese stuff, what the classical people in China would play.
Okay.
But when she found out that Tetris was fun, then my Game Boy was just hers. It became just hers. She just adopted it like the Chinese government, so I'm going to take care of this now.
She confiscated it. Wow.
Like the Communist Party, she just confiscated it.
That is messed up. Okay. Alright, so what was the first video game that you soloed and conquered?
The first video game I soloed and conquered, so basically Tetris is not the game to conquer. I liked it though, but the first game of my Game Boy which I ever finished was Super Mario World. I think Super Mario World 3. Ooh. But my favorite came just right after that, which was Kirby's Dream Land. I loved it with all my heart and I played it over and over and over.
Did that make you a long-time Kirby fan or you just stuck with that one?
Yeah, this makes me a super Kirby fan. I just loved all the skills Kirby had. And he looks like a small, I don't know, cuddly, puffy pillow or something. And I'm pretty sure everything. Yeah, and he eats everything just like me, so I was really into that guy.
Oh no, that is so cute. Oh my god. So alright, with all that being said, when did you finalize that gaming is now part of your life? Like you're just going to be a gamer now?
Actually, that just happened recently where I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links again. I had a long time off. Like, I think I quitted League of Legends for 4 years, and in between I didn't touch any other games for real. So I had a very long gaming history until League of Legends, and then I just dropped every other game for League of Legends. And then I quit it and had like 4 years break because of private issues. So I think we talked about that before, that I had a family member who went sick and I need to take care of him. and that cost most of my time in my life, and that just took away like 4 years of my private time.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, that's understandable. And in between, I figured out that mobile games are a thing to keep me mentally healthy when I'm especially in a waiting room, for example, in front of a hospital or something.
Yeah.
And in that case, just Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links basically saved my life in some way, I can say that. It was a distraction and it gave me more patience.
No, I can understand that. I can relate to that. I mean, sometimes that's why I always feel that video games is a great gateway to get you distraction from the real things in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't make me like flee away because I was still there waiting for the diagnosis or whatever bad was coming up, but it made me just not so nervous anymore. It was kind of distracting and calming, so it was good.
No,
and then after I started streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, I figured out this is actually the part of my life which feeds my soul, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, and because that's good for my soul and a lot of fun, and even good for my brain somewhat, in some way. Yeah, it's just part of my life, and I don't want to miss it anymore. No. Cutting it out just made me feel empty after a while, but I didn't really realize it before. I realized it afterwards.
Damn, wow. I'm about to. Whew. That was emotional, and I feel you on all those forefronts, man. I definitely had that situation with my mom back in the day, so it wasn't like you said, it wasn't something that take me away from things, but it helped me cope and deal with it while I was dealing with it at the moment. So I get what you're saying on that one. On another lighter side of this, though.
Yeah, I think only people who had maybe a similar situation can relate.
Yeah.
So, well, otherwise it's hard to understand what's going on there, because most people are just like putting a diagnosis and say, oh yeah, people are just fleeing from real life and that's why they are playing video games, but actually it's not true. It's just part of your life which I would say enforces or strengthens you in some way if you need it.
I agree. Damn. Yeah. Speaking about strengthen, so I know you've been a geek and a gamer for a long time. What kind of struggles did you face while having to defend yourself to be that? Like what you liked, and how did you have any oppositions from the society of people?
Oh, actually gaming wasn't accepted as a part of society for a very long time. I can tell you that. And I remember when I was in school, I would be the only geek girl which was into video gaming, and when we had like a project week, my project was called Violence in Video Games.
Wow. That sounds like a personal attack. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a ruling? That sounds like a personal attack. Yes, I agree.
And I would be the only girl who was working in that group with all the other guys, but we just used actually this name for our project so we could get all the other beaten up games up so we could play them during the project week. So basically we had wonderful 7 days of beating up gaming 24/7. But under the title of the project named Violence in Video Games. So
in a sense, the teacher that set y'all up for this project kind of gave y'all what y'all really wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, you tell them about violence in video games, they gonna start playing video games, so you just gave them what they wanted. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's so funny. Wow.
And I think I broke the platform, and I wasn't allowed to introduce one of the games I brought there. So mostly we went for the commercial ones like Dead or Alive 2 or Tekken or Virtua Fighters, so every kind of beaten up game which was up back there for the PSX, so for the first PlayStation. But I got a ripped copy of Thrill Kill.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know that game.
Of course I know that game. Shoot.
So
I know about Thrill Kill. I'm supposed.
Yeah, I got ripped. Back at that time, I basically got a ripped copy of everything from China, which was really cheap and easy to access. But in Germany, it was impossible.
Wow.
And since the topic of the project we was Thrill Kill, I was like, oh yeah, let's check this out.
Because I know that was banned in certain countries.
Yeah, you can imagine how that ended. So basically they said, okay, that is much over the top. We are not going to talk about this anymore.
Well, you better be glad you didn't get manhunt.
Yeah, but I was already warned by one of the other gamers from the project. He said like, yeah, let's concentrate on something else you like. I know you like Dead or Alive 2 much more than this other thingy, so we will just, you know, find a compromise. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but the shock and awe value would have been through the roof, and it would have been awesome. But I don't think you wanted to get arrested.
No, but I think I polarized enough by the attempt to introduce to even back at that time. I'm not sure if it was actually like forbidden or it was more like never released.
Yeah. Okay. So
because in China it was available. So.
It was. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. I like that. So after all that being said, with you know being the only geek and everything like that, so what kept you motivated to stay to gaming?
It was just a lot of fun for me personally.
Yeah.
So after the beating up games, when I was younger, I was a lot into beating up games. I like King of Fighters, Street Fighter. I liked Virtua Fighter, Dynasty Warriors, especially Dead or Alive, as you already know, and Smash Brothers. Oh my God, Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64. That was so awesome and so much fun, and you could play it with 4 persons. And Power Stone. Oh my God, on Dreamcast.
Oh. That's the funny part. I just put Power Stone on my PS Vita, so I'm having fun with that right now.
Yeah, it was the best way to interact with my cousins and friends, just to play beaten up games with each other, because there was no possibility back then to play online, and the whole story turned around actually with Ragnarok Online, which is also another reason why I stayed with the gaming thing. But basically I turned away from the beaten up games because beaten up was mostly like 1 versus 1, so for 2 people, or 2 versus 2, like mostly for 4 people. And when you leave that platform and go into online gaming like Ragnarok, I just realized there is a remake now. It's called Ragnarok Guardians of Eternal Love or something, which is basically just a remake of the old version from Ragnarok Online, which I loved with all my heart when I was a teenager. And that game just kept me going, I think, for 1 or 2 years. And sleepless nights.
Jeez. That was actually badass. Wow. Okay. Well, we got this nice new segment that we're doing for Season 2. It's called This or That. Now, to give you a quick thought on it, it's either this or that in certain genres and video games. Like, for example, if you had to pick the team up with Yugi or Kaiba, what would you choose?
Oh, that's a hard question, because that is actually the side you have to choose at the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And yeah, and I know from the beginning, if I pick Kaiba, I have to face Yugi, and if I pick Yugi, I have to face Kaiba. So this question was already set, and I kept a long time thinking about it, and I decided for the side of Yugi, because that's the only way I could, you know, face Kaiba as an opponent.
Oh, so you see him more as a rival than a buddy.
I think that for a character like Kaiba, it's easier to get close to him as a rival than as an ally. Because because he has no really allies. I think except his younger brother Mokuba. Is his only ally, and everybody else is just like trash. he won't even accept those people as his allies. And I think in that case, I would also choose him as rival instead of like one of his underlings like Roland or someone, because following him around won't make him respect you or even fall in love with you. But if you turn into a worthy rival, then you are not going to leave his head for a very long time, especially if you beat him in a duel.
Woo! Jesus. Okay, alright. So okay. Wow.
That is woman's psychology.
Hey, I'm just saying, this or that was supposed to be like a bullet round where we just go this or that and you pick whatever one. But that was in depth. Shoot, we might have to move on. That was crazy. I like that answer though. All right, so I'm gonna have to ask one more because all right. So this is that. Would you rather face Kasumi or Ayane?
Ooh, this is a hard question. I think both are fierce opponents, but I think I rather face Kazumi because she's more the person. I think she is playing fair, and if you would fight against her like in a street fight, like with bare hands, she wouldn't stab you with a katana or something. And with Ayane, I'm not sure, so she could be trying to use unfair methods.
Alright, last question. This is going to be a tough one. I'm going to put you on against the wall with this one. For the rest of your life, would you rather play with Dreamcast or PlayStation?
Oh, that is a hard one. I know that PlayStation has much or many games more than the Dreamcast ever had. And one of my favorite games of all times actually was PlayStation exclusive, which is Final Fantasy VII.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is really a hard question, but just from the point, I think if I had to play for the rest of my life with no other console, I still would pick the Dreamcast. Because there used to be exclusively titles for the Dreamcast which was never released for the PlayStation and will never be released anymore, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the funny part is the Dreamcast just recently became, or had a revival, so there's a lot of new games coming out for the Dreamcast now.
Yeah, the Dreamcast was just an incredible, awesome console. I put all my money into that, and then they just went broke, and it was like, what?
Worth it though, worth it, cause I still, oh man, I might have to get a new Dreamcast though when I move. But to follow up, okay, so how do you feel about gaming now versus the past? Is it better, worse? Like, how do you feel about it?
Oh, it's definitely better. It's like kids in a candy store. Come on. I remember the times where it was really hard to get to a copy of whatever game it is. And even it was just handheld, like for the Nintendo DS or something, and then getting ripped copies for PlayStation 1 games, or getting, for example, just one original for the Dreamcast. I remember House of Dead. It was so hard to get like a uncensored version of House of Dead. It was almost impossible. And right now there are just so many possibilities, and even the games you used to love as a kid are turned into anime series like Castlevania, for example. I would have never expected something like this to happen, but I love it when I hear the news and see the results, which are actually awesome. So I just have to admit Netflix did a great job there. And I think that the future for gamers will be even brighter because we have now a bigger community and a bigger fan base than before. Before we were just like outcasts and socially not accepted. And now people just start realizing, oh wait, geekdom and gamers and esports, oh lord, it's a big market, we need to hit that. But those people have actually no idea what they are doing. Literally no idea.
Oh wow. Jesus. Well, okay. Since you brought up the people in the industry, who is an icon that you admire in the gaming industry or any type of community, anime or whatever? Who do you admire the most?
You mean like game developer or more like artist?
Could be artist, developer. Like who do you like? You know, if you could meet and sit with, who would that be?
I think I would like to meet Yu Suzuki and ask him a very serious question. Where is Shenmue 3?
Well, I can give you that information.
Shenmue 3.
I can give you that information since I am a backer on the Kickstarter for that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, sweet! Oh, man. Yeah, honestly, we're all just itching to play Shenmue 3. I just wish that Shenmue 1 and 2 had a better remastered version. But yeah, I did download them anyway.
But every time I check my mails and I get an update from Kickstarter, it's like, oh, it's gotta be delayed by 1 month, by 1 year, by 1 day, and I'm like, ah! I don't want to wait anymore. We need to seriously talk to that guy.
The rage is real.
Yeah.
We are your investors.
Yeah, stop smoking weed in Barcelona. I don't know where he is. I just know that he's in Spain or somewhere where it's a warm region in Europe to produce that game. But I'm pretty sure if he's in Spain or Portugal, the how to say, the rhythm or the pace over there is much slower than the rest of the earth, so we might never. So
you think he's just like, he's probably just gonna listen to this interview, sipping his tea and be like, you'll just have to wait.
Yeah, you just have to wait. He will be thinking literally like in Japanese in his head, but then saying mañana, which means tomorrow.
I know. I know. Jeez. Oh, that's just hurts. All right, well, thank you for sitting with us. I hope you enjoyed this segment. But just have one final question that I'd like to ask everybody. What are some words of wisdom or geekdom, in our case, would you share with future gamers or anybody that's getting into something that you're doing right now?
I think this is like more a slogan for life and for gaming. So, quitters never win, and winners never quit.
Ooh. Damn. Okay, well, like the special guest I-10 bot, please check out her Twitch channel and her Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Link streams that happen almost every day, and definitely check out her YouTube channel where we're going to put everything in the description down below. And other than that, yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you, I-10.
Thank you, Kuma Beatty. I just want to say I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Thank you. Beast out, y'all.